In this review, we are comparing two of the most popular countertop reverse osmosis systems, the AquaTru Glass and the Bluevua RO100. Both aim to deliver exceptionally clean water with user-friendly designs, but how do they stack up against each other? So let's dive into it and see which one comes out on top. So let's talk about the first impressions and setup. First of all, the AquaTru took about 15 minutes to set up. Again, these are both countertop systems and they really don't require any tools. The AquaTru does require that you install the filters itself, which took a few minutes. It's not that bad. They sit right in the middle and they snap in real nicely. Now the Bluevua setup was a lot faster, only about 10 minutes. That's because the filters are already installed, which is really nice. So that gave the AquaTru a setup score of 4.5 and the Bluevua a 5 out of 5. Now let's talk build quality and design. And in this category, the AquaTru is superior. That's because one, it has a smaller footprint. I love that the filters are in the middle, not on the side like the Bluevua. And also it's just a more compact design. In a lot of houses and townhomes these days, there's not a lot of counter space unless you're in a mansion. So the fact that this is a way smaller footprint than the Bluevua really sets it apart. But what's also nice about the build quality and design is they're both glass pitchers, which I absolutely love. Now the Bluevua, of course, is gonna hold more water, but at the end of the day, I would be shocked if you ran through all this water in one day. So build quality and design, I give the AquaTru a 5 out of 5 and the Bluevua a 4 out of 5. Now let's talk about yearly maintenance that has to be done on both of these, and that's usually just changing out the filters. To change out the filters on the AquaTru, it's gonna be about $80 and it's gonna take about 10 minutes. And on the Bluevua, it's gonna be slightly cheaper. It's only gonna be $65 and the filters change a lot faster because it's more easily accessible being on the side. So maintenance-wise, AquaTru gets a 4.5 out of 5 and the Bluevua gets a 5 out of 5. Now let's talk about the contaminant reduction, and that's probably the most important part. Now, if you really wanna know what the best water filter is, I have reviewed over 100 water filters. Yes, over 100. And I've created a PDF with the best ones. I'm gonna put a link down below where you can go buy it. It's an absolute no-brainer. It's only a few dollars. And with it, you will be able to find the best water filter based on filtration ratings, which at the end of the day really is the most important thing. It covers shower filters, countertop systems, under the sink systems, whole house systems. So if you really wanna know what the best water filter is, unbiased, based on scientific lab results, check it out, link is down below. And yeah, let's go back to the video. You see the AquaTru Glass removed an average of 96.36% of all contaminant. It was notably strong in volatile organic compounds, PFAS, which is forever chemicals, pharmaceuticals, and radiologicals. The Bluevua had 97.59 average reduction. It was stronger in heavy metals, volatile organic compounds, forever chemicals, and microbiologicals. And that gave the AquaTru a score of 9.6 out of 10 and the Bluevua a 9.8 out of 10 when it comes to contaminant reduction. Now let's talk about the filtration rate. The AquaTru Glass does 1 liter in 28 seconds and the Bluevua does 1 liter in 22 seconds. So that gives the AquaTru a 4 out of 5 and the Bluevua a 5 out of 5. The Bluevua is much faster in filtering water. Now let's talk about who this system is best for. The AquaTru Glass is really for those who are prioritizing compact, stylish appliances, and premium material. The Bluevua, on the other hand, is better for speed seekers, ones that are going to go through more water in a day, and more heavy users. Like if you had a large family, the Bluevua would probably be the one for you, not the AquaTru Glass. Now let's talk about the pricing and value. The AquaTru Glass is $400 initially, which puts it on the higher end. The Bluevua is $350, which is still up there, but not as high as the AquaTru. Now let's talk about some pros and cons of each. You see, the AquaTru is really a premium build. This is really nice glass. It has excellent filtration, even though the Bluevua has better filtration, but it also has a very compact design, which I absolutely love. And the cons of it, it does have a higher cost. The filtration is not as good as the Bluevua, and it's a lot slower than the Bluevua. Now let's talk about the Bluevua. The pros are it has very fast filtration. The filtration performance is up there. It's up there with the best of the best reverse osmosis countertop filters. It's more affordable. But the cons are it is a large plastic build, not as premium materials as the AquaTru, and it does take up a lot of counter space. So let's do a final score for each. So the Bluevua, it got a 68.6 out of 70 for contamination reduction, which is really good. The filtration rate was a 5 out of 5, the design a 4 out of 5, the setup a 5 out of 5, maintenance 5 out of 5, the company a 4.5 out of 5, in value a 5 out of 5. And we compare that to the AquaTru glass, which has a contaminant reduction of 67.2 out of 70, 4 out of 5 for the filtration rate. The design was 5 out of 5, setup 4.5 out of 5, maintenance 4.5 out of 5, company 4.5 out of 5, and value 4.5 out of 5 for a total of 93.7 over 100. And the winner here is the Bluevua. It's faster filtration, the filtration's better, and it also costs less. So if I were to get one of these, I would get the Bluevua if I had enough counter space. That's, I think, the biggest key. If I didn't have a lot of counter space and wanted a more compact design, I would get the AquaTru. So there you have it. That is comparing two of the most popular above counter water filters. Let me know down in the comments below which water filter you want to see reviewed next. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Stay hydrated.